Welcome to the show today. Have you ever had your toddler shout at you, yell at you, push you, and maybe even hit you? It can be really, really hard as a parent when our toddler behaves in ways that we just don't know how to handle and didn't expect. I had a mum contact me just last week for exactly this reason. Her toddler was having an absolute fit because he wanted orange juice and she only had pineapple juice. And she was trying to explain to him that she would get the orange juice next time she was at the shops, but the pineapple juice was all there is. And he had a complete monumental meltdown. And she got caught up in it. So he was shouting at her and she was doing her best to try and not shout back at him. But eventually she just cracked and she caved and she took the low road and she resorted in shouting and yelling at him. And it all went downhill after that. What we have to remember is behavior is a means of communication. And our toddlers haven't yet learned how to communicate their needs effectively and in socially acceptable ways for all the time. It's hard for them. They're little. They don't know all the little nuances. They don't know how to tolerate their frustration for not having the orange juice and only having the pineapple juice, or whatever it is that you might be having a struggle with them over. But invariably, you have to look beneath the behavior to ask what is actually going on, because 9 times out of 10, it's actually not the fact. It's not the juice or the fruit or the cup, or the fact you went to a certain park and they wanted to go to another park. There's more to it. There's more beneath the surface. And all behavior is like an iceberg. If we think of it that way, it can help you get to the root of things. So maybe your toddler is struggling with something, but the behavior comes out over the orange juice or the fruit or the park. But it's not actually that is the problem. So what can we do in the moment? Well, in the moment, we have to not take it personally. And at the end of the day, if our toddler shouts at us that they hate us and we're the worst mum ever, and if you've older kids, teenagers might even say, nobody else's mum does that. You're the only one who does it. I hate you. You're the worst mum in the world. It's hard not to take it personally. But it only bothers us if we believe what they've said. So if you believe that you're the worst mum, if you believe that they hate you, then sure, it's really, really hard not to get caught up in the moment and react and react and react to whatever it is they say. So how do you not take it personally? Well, out of the moment, you have to see the ridiculousness of it, so that next time you can actually find a way to hear it and just not let it go in. Just let the arrow pass you by. It goes by, it goes by. It doesn't penetrate you and really upset you. It's hard, but try it next time. It might help. And to stay calm in the moment. How do you stay calm in the moment and not get wound up when they're screaming at you because they want the juice you don't have, or the fruit you don't have, or the park you're not in? How do you stay calm in the moment? There's lots of things you can do. You can take a deep breath. You can walk away for a couple of seconds. You can have a mantra that you say in your head to try and just keep you on the high road and not go down that low road, because it's so hard when we do. And sometimes even, the child might resort to even getting physical with you and hitting you. And then it's really, really hard, because you want to fight back. And if you have fought back, and if you've perhaps resorted to spanking your child, be easy on yourself. You know you've been taken a long, long way to resort to having to do this. And as much as in the moment it happened, afterwards you're probably feeling pretty guilty about what you've done and maybe ashamed for what you've done. So afterwards, when you've all calmed down, a good idea is to actually sit down with your toddler and apologize to them and say, look, I am really, really sorry that I hit you, or I held your wrists firmly, or I just got really mad with you. I should never have done it. It's unacceptable. And if I'm trying to help you learn how to do it, it doesn't it doesn't help you if I do things that I don't want you to do. So I'm really, really sorry that I shouted or maybe hit you or was firm with you. So apologies go a long, long way. It's really, really hard in the moment, so incredibly hard to stay on the high road, stay calm, and keep showing up with compassion. What helps me is to always have in my mind, what does my child need here? You know, I remember when my kids were little, and I used to try and remember, what do they need? And for this mum who called me and she was in a real state about what had happened, I said, you know, next time, what does your child need? It's not the juice, it's not the things on the surface, but what do they need? They need you to remain compassionate to them being the age they are and not having the skills to be able to deal with the emotions they're feeling. There are emotions going on and it's coming out in their behavior because that's the only way in which they can communicate. They don't yet know, they maybe don't have the words to express how they're feeling. So they show it with frustration over the juice or the fruit or the park. So really out of the moment, looking at what might be going on. Have you been away on a trip? Have you met someone new? Has he had an upset with a friend? Did a play date not go well? It could be anything. And they might not even know. But if we can remain curious to it, think what might be going on? Because when we can walk in their shoes and really see the world through their eyes, it can help us remain compassionate and kind to them when they're really struggling to get their emotions under control. In the moment, you can say to them, I see you're having a really, really hard time right now and you're incredibly frustrated because I don't have the right juice for you. I'm really sorry I don't have the juice. The choices are you have what I have in the fridge or you don't have juice. And I know you're really upset, and they'll get more upset, and you can sit in it with them. Sit in it. Help them work their way through it. Give them the words to words that they might choose to take on next time. Help them manage their emotions. Validate their feelings. All feelings are okay. The behavior is not. But it's up to us to role model the acceptable ways of behaving to them so that they learn how to behave in more socially acceptable ways and don't resort to communicating in such a way that is really hard for us to deal with, and let's face it, hard for them to deal with at the same time. I hope that you found this helpful. Bye for now.